Good morning, Magic players! Today we have a fantastic flurry of fabulous fellows fighting to be free. But before we get into it, be sure to check out this channel's Patreon in the description below. With that being said, let's get into the game. Xenagos returns with his experimental frenzy, piloting Golos, Tireless Pilgrim. He's kept a hand of Felidar Sovereign, Sakura Tribe Elder, Sphere of Safety, Golgari Signet, Breeding Pool, Clifftop Retreat, and Ash Baron. Horatio has returned with Xenagos, God of Rebels, again. He's kept a hand with Veteran Explorer, Giant Adaphage, Weird Harvest, Kodama's Reach, Mana Flare, Burgeoning, and a Forest. Risky. Gage Meningitis is bringing Gargos, Vicious Watcher, keeping Nature's Lore, Soul Ring, and 5 Forests. Clearly he knows what he's doing. Arkham Arcanus brings Sliver Queen to the fight, wanting to keep his win streak. The Dancing Delinquent has kept Muscle Sliver, Necrotic Sliver, Cyclonic Rift, Unclaimed Territory, Gemstone Mine, Windswept Heath, and Sunken Hollow. Arkham dances his way to the field and starts us off. Arkham plays a Windswept Heath, then flexes by grabbing a Savannah with it. Doing his I'm richer than you dance, he passes to Xenagos. Xenagos plays Breeding Pool, paying 2 to have it enter untapped. He passes. Gage stretches. Forest. Tap. Soul Ring. Pass. Xenagos concedes. Horatio, very confused by Gage and Xenagos high-fiving, plays a Forest, then a Veteran Explorer. Arkham plays a Mountain and passes. A different Xenagos from another dimension cycles Ash Barons on Arkham's end step, while this dimension's Xenagos is too distracted by Gage. He finds a Plains. On his turn, Xenagos plays the Plains that's suddenly in his hand, then Golgari Signet, passing. Gage plays a Forest, shockingly, then casts Kodama's Reach to grab 2 more Forests. How surprising. Horatio, mad that no one has killed his Veteran Explorer, plays a Rugged Highlands, gaining 1. He plays a Burgeoning and passes. Arkham throws glitter on the field, which materializes into a Gemstone Mine. Very thematic. Xenagos plays a Sunspring Expedition. He gives it a counter with Clifftop Retreat. Sakura Tribe Elder then enters, and Xenagos passes. Gage drops a Forest, then summons Gargos. All done, he passes to the evil mustachioed man. Speaking of stashes, Horatio twirls his, playing a Mountain, and then Mana Flare. Arkham plays an Unclaimed Territory, naming Cephalids or Slivers or something. Xenagos cracks his Elder, finding a basic. Arkham plays Mesmeric Sliver, fate sealing the top card of Horatio's library. It gets sent to the bottom and Arkham passes. Xenagos starts off the turn by playing Golos, grabbing Cascading Cataracts with his ETB. He then casts Wear and Tear, destroying Mana Flare and Gage's Soul Ring, denying the rest of the table double mana. He passes and Gary applauds the play from off-screen. Gage does a shimmy, stealing Arkham's dance moves, and plays a Hydra Omnivore, followed by a Nessian Wilds Ravager. The ETB of the Ravager triggers, and no one pays a tribute, so the Ravager smacks Golos back to the command zone. Gargos then heads at Arkham, dealing 8. All through, Gage passes. Horatio starts off by immediately attacking Gage with Veteran Explorer. It gets blocked and everyone grabs 2 basics. Now online, Horatio plays Regal Behemoth, becoming the Monarch and giving himself double mana for his next turn. Arkham plays his commander, Sliver Queen, and sends the top card of Xenagos' deck to the Shadow Realm. That is all. Xenagos, aggravated at the loss of that card he didn't know, sets up walls with a Sphere of Safety and passes. Gage plays a Forest, then finds another one with Nature's Lore. He then moves to combat, attacking Arkham with Hydra Omnivore and Horatio with Nessian Yada Yada. No blocks are declared, so Gage casts Giant Growth on the Omnivore. Gargos smacks the Queen and trades with her. Then Arkham bounces Omnivore with Cyclonic Rift to negate the damage. Horatio still takes 6 though and loses Monarchy. Kudzwi chuckles at this interaction. Horatio returns the favor by attacking Gage with Regal Behemoth, dealing 5. The Monarchy goes back to him, enabling his doubled mana. He casts Kodama's Reach, grabbing some lands and playing them. He casts Xenagos and Hydra Omnivore, then passes, having already attacked. Xenagos groans as he tried to prevent exactly this earlier. Arkham plays a Sliver Hive, which feels irrelevant at this point in the game. Horatio finally drops a land from Burgeoning 4 turns late. Arkham dings the Doombringer for 2 with Mesmeric Sliver, stealing Monarchy. He then replays the Queen and passes, drawing it on turn. Xenagos facepalms, then plays an Isolated Chapel. He casts a Diabolic Tutor, which is odd considering that Horatio is a Diabolic one. He plays what I assumed he'd tutor for, a Circle of Protection, a very Xenagos play. This circle in particular is for green, a perfect matchup. All done and safe from Horatio and Gage, Xenagos passes. Gage plays a forest and then his commander. Nothing else to do, he passes. Horatio cackles and immediately removes the COP with Hull Breach, targeting Kha'Zix's signet and the COP. In response, Kha'Zix pays 1 to nullify the damage that Horatio's board would deal to him. I guess that works, I'm not a judge. A bit miffed that his plans keep getting foiled constantly, he takes back the monarchy and double mana by hitting Arkham for 5 again. With double mana restored again, Horatio attempts to speed things up by playing an Avatar Slaughter. He then follows up with a Weird Harvest, with X being 4. All done, he passes while everyone searches for 4 creatures. Arkham plays another Sliver, shockingly, a Spiteful Sliver. He sends the top card of Horatio's deck to the Shadow Realm too, joining the other one from Kha'Zix's library. He then plays a Necrotic Sliver, doing the Fate Seal thing again to add another card to the Shadow Realm from Horatio's deck. Arkham sacrifices Mesmeric Sliver to Necrotic Sliver's ability to destroy the Avatar Slaughter and passes. Kha'Zix plays a Sun Titan he grabbed with Weird Harvest, returning the Cursed COP to the field, halting Horatio's plans for a 3rd time. Gage plays a Temple of the False God for his land return. He brings the Omnivore back into the fray, then casts Mistcutter Hydra with X being 12. For some reason he doesn't attack with it, instead only hitting Arkham for 6 with the Nessian blah 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 Hydra. Gage passes, Kha'Zix shrugging at Kudzwi. The duo shrugs back, not understanding the Arkham beat train. Foiled again by Kha'Zix, Horatio hopes Arkham can do something about the COP, so he decides to double everyone's manas and triple his own with the Heartbeat of Spring. He follows it up with a Stonehoof, and then another mana doubler, Zerta Ancient. Mana is now tripled for everyone. Horatio attacks Kha'Zix to use up the COP activations, swinging Xenagos and a souped-up Stonehoof at the Goblin, as well as throwing Omnivore at the other Omnivore player. COP stops the damage of the incoming big boys, and the Omnivore is blocked by a Mistcutter and the other Omnivore. Since Horatio's Omnivore is indestructible, it survives. But wait, that's not all. Horatio casts Seize the Day, untapping the Omnivore. He attacks Gage with a massive Hydra, but it gets blocked again, this time with 2 Hydras. Horatio decides to off the Mistcutter to remove a big threat. Now fuming, Horatio passes to Arkham. Despark is cast by the Dancing Doofus, exiling Stonehoof. Arkham plays a first Sliver, cascading into Tempered Sliver. He begins to dance erratically, casting a Cloud Shredder Sliver, cascading into a Worldly Tutor. He finds a 2-headed Sliver with it and puts it on the top. He then casts Sliver Legion, grabbing the 2-headed Sliver through Cascade, which then cascades into a Soul Ring. To add insult to injury, Muscle Sliver then enters, cascading into Path to Exile, targeting Regal Behemoth. To end the game, Arkham casts Beseech the Queen, fetching his win con, Mana Echoes. With a Haste Enabler, Double Strike, Flying, and the ability to create infinite tokens and mana, Arkham swings in for infinite damage to win the game.
Arkham is ferocious, solidifying himself as a worthy contender by winning 2 games in a row. He could have started off with the Beseech into Mana Echoes to make it faster, but I applaud his win. I hope to see this talent and skill next time on Wizards of the Vortex.